Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 8th to the 14th of September. Let's get right into things. My name is Jackie. For those of you who are new here, I do weekly messages for all the astrological archetypes. I combine tarot with astrology, numerology, and psychology. Oh, and that one wanted to pop out. We're going to first do some general, this one too. Okay, lovers, we'll take it. Hello. Somebody is having a very nice conversation regarding either a business connection or relationship. Really nice, working it out. It could even be a friend or a family member. Lover's energy is anybody that we have a shared soul connection with. So let's get right into this. This first spread that I'm going to pull is going to be for general messages. I'll apply it to whatever, career, money, romance, all of that. And then I'm going to do a he said, she said spread after that. Which is a Celtic cross spread regarding relationship having to do with you, and then I'm going to pull a separate spread regarding somebody that you might be dealing with. You don't have to be dealing with them right now, by the way, just as long as they're in your energy. And let's go. Let's see. Six of Wands, the Lovers, the Star, Ace of Swords. Cancer, this looks good starting out. Yeah, I like it. Six of Wands is it's a Jupiter and Leo energy. So this is about deserved success, great energy if you've been struggling lately. This is you getting acknowledgement at work, acknowledgement within a relationship, feelings being shared, well received, really awesome for communication and for really understanding each other better. Like the deepening, this is a very deep energy. Even though it's minor arcana, it's like a deepening of connection. And I like that for you because with this Venus and Scorpio in your 5th house, it's going to be in your 5th house. So going from September 10th all the way through October 7th, it's going to be in the 5th house of romance, love affairs, creativity, play, having to do with children, self-expression, right? We call the 5th house the house of fun. And Scorpio's in there. When Scorpio's hanging with Venus and Venus is hanging with Scorpio, there's a lot of passion going on. Superficial, fill in the blank is not going to fly at all. Like these are serious conversations, not shallow. You're going to want something very deeply, very intensely, right? In a way that is either going to fix that problem once and for all or move you in a way emotionally that's unforgettable. As Venus is very emotional in Scorpio. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of emotion here to fix something. And guys, again, don't be fooled by the graphic on this. On this card, because the Lover's energy really is about soul connection, and we can have soul connections with family and friends and business partners as long as we have the same goal in mind, right? And what does it mean? It means we're recognizing that things are not perfect, there are issues here, and with the blessing of Archangel Raphael, as long as we're on the same page, we're going to work at it together, this can be fixed. We can move past this because there's something that you're involved in that is meant to happen. Something is very destiny driven, right? This is an Aquarius energy. The star is beautiful. First of all, it's about change for the better after a difficult time. If it has to do with any kind of relationship, friendship, family situation, anything like that. There's destiny at work here. You're meant to be with somebody. But it's as a result of there being this balance kind of thing. And this is I feel like this is a really good week to be having these conversations, this energy to bring you into this Ace of Swords energy, which really is getting over any past obstacles that you've been dealing with. Thoughts becoming things, really good, just for new beginnings. So like page turning energy when it comes to anything regarding any relationship, your mind is going to be very clear. Even though Neptune is going to be doing a jam on everybody's chart right now, but I feel like more than you've been, you're going to be a lot more clear in your thinking having to do with love, having to do with work, any other area of your life. And this does indicate a change to your circumstances for the better, which is going to keep going in a very good direction for you. But you want to make sure, really important here, that you understand the difference between being assertive and being aggressive. Aggressive is a big no-no in this energy. Assertive, yes. Now, why am I saying that? Well, because what can happen here when Venus hangs out in Scorpio is very interesting, because we're push to completely embrace something. So, yes, friend, I want to just have our relationship back. Yes, lover, I just want to be back in love and everything be okay. Or, yes, business partner, let's do this. We're going to go work at it together. Right? And so we want to be consumed by all those things, but at the same time, we're going to be having a really hard time having blind faith, really. So it's like this fear can sort of like seep in insidiously, and just know, to be forewarned, just to be forearmed. Fears can easily slip in where you start to feel maybe a little too vulnerable, or you feel like maybe, oh, if I give into this, am I giving up my power? Because it's like this all or nothing, and you just don't want anything to go wrong. So just make sure if you're feeling like that you express it assertively, but not aggressively, right? And then at the end of the week, on the 14th, towards the end, 14th, 15th, depending on where you live, Mars is popping into Leo, and we are really going to be feeling way more charming and not wanting to confront, not wanting to be the bad guy in a situation, wanting to sort of ease things, right? And you know, we can all struggle with a little bit of indecisiveness, though, whenever anything is in Leo, is in Libra rather. You know, because Libra's like, oh, I could see this way, I could see that way. You know, let me just let this pass. Let me think about it a little more. But Mars is in there with all of his fire. So you have fire and air together. It's like, right? So you just want to make sure that if you are engaging with something you're not totally comfortable with it, you want to make sure it doesn't slip into any sort of passive aggressiveness, because you're not the only one that's having this in your chart, right? Everyone that you're dealing with has it somewhere in their chart as well. So just have your spidey senses on for that, and expect some mental gymnastics this week, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's going to be going on, but I feel like it's going to ultimately, yeah, definitely. We have this Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is just feeling very fired up. Events speeding up, blocks being lifted, decisions coming in any area that you might be waiting to move forward in. So, you know, that job situation, that financial situation, that family, whatever it is, relationship, feeling very, very fired up. But at the end of the day, what's interesting here, and I feel like this is where Venus and Scorpio is popping into your energy, is this Two of Wands. This is really good. This is Mars and Aries energy. This is you making plans, moving forward, having to do with partnerships. So some of you might be meeting a new romantic partner, maybe through work or friends. Some of you may be meeting a new business partner, also maybe through friends or associations, right? And so you're meeting this new energy, and for some of you, this could even be a friend, but you're like, okay, I'm here, and this person coming in could potentially bring me on this path. So let me just consider all the aspects of the situation. It's like everything is good, but you want to figure out which choice is either going to best maximize your skill set, if it has to do with career, but bring you what it is that you're looking for. Like if you're looking for money, which is going to bring you the most money, but without sacrificing what it is that, you know, that you feel comfortable in. Or even having to do with the relationship. Should I be with this person, that person? Should we get married? Should we not? Baby? No baby? I'm not sure, right? But you're surrounded by good opportunities here that's going to allow you to elevate, whether it's in your public life or your private life, right? And I do like this, but I feel like part of the confliction here between these two paths is going to be the fact that you are recognizing all too well that exactly the way you're living right now is really not in alignment with exactly what you want to be going on in that relationship, in that financial situation, in that business situation, whatever it is. Because when we're dealing with the Five of Swords coming up in your energy, there's something going on in your reality that's not squaring with what it is that you really want, and the conflict and the tension that's drawing up in you. You can't get in front of it. You can't win it, because it's the kind of thing where it's not on you. It's like you're dealing with either a person, a group of people, or a situation that you can't control, right? So you're really better off backing off at this point. Not leave, it's a minor arcana, not to say leave things and all of that, but just understand that any sort of anger, disappointment, conflict, tension that you're feeling here, it's okay for you to say, you know what? I can only control myself. I can't mitigate this person's stuff or this situation because it's out of my control. And I'm better off just with some grace and dignity stepping back a little bit. You're still going to want to be involved in it though. Nine of Wands tells me that you're in a strong position, Cancer, you know, but you're tired because something has really made you like, really? Now what? That's the 9, right? 9 is a high number in tarot. So this is something that you've been in, but you still have fire in your belly for that person, that relationship, that project, whatever it is, even though it's like, oh, forgot, you know, why can't it just go, you know, a little better? But you're strategizing here, and everything is going in your direction. So I feel like this is more of a temporary thing. And what's the answer is temperance. Yes, nice, right? Cooperation, moderation, everybody take a deep breath, chill out. Let's reconcile our differences. Let's reconciliate if we do need to. Speaking of that, let's see, you have Mercury, okay. You have Mercury in pre-shadow in Libra in that fourth house, which is your house, right? It is your house, and it's about, something to do with family, something to do with roots, something to do with your emotions, having to do with something. And the Temperance is about, okay, patient cooperation. What do you need? What does the situation need? And let everybody have open ears and cooperate to get through what could be right here a tricky time period. Right? But I do like this as well, because I feel like in the Temperance, while you guys are having this conversation about what's necessary, because that's what's going to be happening here, in numerology, the Temperance is the Hierophant, right? If we were doing when I say I mix in numerology, I mix in tarot numerology, right? Not to confuse anybody, but I really do think that they help inform each other. So in that way, this being the Hierophant energy, yeah, it has to do with marriage. Hierophant is marriage, so some of you may resonate with it like that way. You could say, okay, it's time for us to sit down and have a conversation about what's going on in this marriage, right? Especially because you guys have Pluto in that 7th house of marriage, and you have Mars going from that 3rd into your 4th house of home. Right, so especially if you live with your spouse, right? So it's time to, and which can indicate, some arguments, even though Mars is in Libra, everybody wants to be polite in their arguing, right? That's all that means. So having a conversation about what's expected. This is what I expect. This is what you expect. This is, all of that is discussed. And then we have the Ten of Swords. I actually like this here because I feel like, we normally we look at the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Death, and we're like, wow, what kind of like crazy ass energy is going on here? This is horrible. But this is the thing. Something negative is actually ending. You may not expect it to go a certain way, but it's necessary because the way that something's been going up to this point hasn't been working. It hasn't been working at all. So when we have the Ten of Swords, there's a history here. But it's the end of a time period that's been really, really difficult. It's the end of a time period that's been really frustrating and really stressful and really hurtful. And even if it's painful to say, okay, I can't do this anymore in this way, you're going to be able to, you're going to take that pain and you're going to switch it up. And you're going to lighten up. Your energy is going to lighten up. And you're going to have a lighter energy, healthier, fresh eyes, new mindset. Clarifying that, though, is this Knight of Swords energy. So I feel like a lot of you are dealing with a bit of a messy energy. This could be somebody who, creates a lot of issues, a lot of drama, and then they take no responsibility for reconciling whatever issu's been drummed up or for even trying to make amends. You know what I mean? Where it's just like they come in, kind of like a hurricane, and then they leave. And you're sitting there like, okay, what just happened? That kind of thing. So some of you may have this kind of person in your family, in your workplace, or you might even be in a relationship. But the message here to you, Cancer, is expect the unexpected. Because this is very much an unpredictable roller coaster energy, truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed, and all of that, right? And that's being clarified by the Death. Now, the Death doesn't mean completely forever done. It just can mean separating from that friend, that family member, even within that relationship for a time period so that everybody can take a deep breath, And if there's a lot of value in the foundation, in whatever kind of situation it is, the energy will bring it back around in your life. It's just simply the way it is, right? If it's meant for your higher good, if it's not, it won't. Now, if this has to do with a career or money thing, there could be a possible ending of a business connection or an avenue of money. And even though things might be tough initially, this energy indicates that there's something new on the horizon right there. So just be patient, right? This is going to, again, ultimately bring you into a better space. Now, some of you may be also finding out, like, let's say you're in a relationship and you tell your partner, well, I can't do this anymore. I don't like this relationship anymore. I don't like living apart from you. I think that it's not good for us, or where we're living right now is stressing us out too much. Maybe we need to downsize. Maybe we need to expand, right? Because of maybe working at home or children, whatever it is. And in this temperance, whatever's been difficult regarding that home, regarding that situation, you're moving away from it in a way that you weren't even expecting, because the death energy does also mean moving, where you're living circumstances can change because you realize where you are living no longer meets your overall needs, right? So, and this could be a situation. Some of you might even be getting a job offer to move to another state or a different location, or to change the way that you're working. But you weren't expecting it. You weren't, like you didn't see it coming. So that's what this looks like. So it looks like this was kind of like a little tricky. I'm going to pull some clarifiers over here, because this is all like really smooth and beautiful energy. And then it's like, okay, so we're tempering things, and then something's ending, shocking, surprise. And then, there's either move in with me. Because the temperance could also be, all right, I don't want to be away from you anymore. Let's get married. And you guys move in together, right? So these three cards, again, we can't take them in isolation. But it's like something coming in, boom, the end of the difficult time period, something unexpected comes in, and there's change. And then we have the Hangwoman. Clarifying this, I want to pull a few cards and to clarify these three energies here. So we have the Hangwoman, the King of Coins, the King of Cups. Oh, okay, all right, So some of you may be feeling like this, where if you stay having to in this particular situation, whatever it is, you're in this space of wondering, all right, first of all, what are they thinking? Do they feel the same way that I do? I don't know. We on the same page? I don't know. I feel like, if I stay in this situation, am I going to end up martyring myself? Am I going to end up on, being used and abused? Am I going to end up being sacrificed here? Am I going to get the lousy end of the stick? In other words, right? Because you feel like you're dealing with somebody who's not giving enough, right? No, but this is a good person. The person that you're dealing with, whether this is a family member, an intimate partner, or whoever it is, this is somebody who, by all rights, right, on paper would look really generous and hardworking and into it, and really, wants to be involved in something, right? But this person doesn't have any patience for anyone who's looking to take what's his. So this could be his money, his ideas, or trying to change him. So this could be, and there's an element of greed about this energy. Even though it's solid, there's this like, I'm going to draw the line in the sand that I'm not willing to give beyond this, right, kind of thing. But that's the very thing that I feel like is going to need to be settled between you and this person or situation, right? Because the King of Cups is about needing to settle a conflict within oneself or with somebody else. It doesn't really matter, but let's sit and talk openly and honestly about what changes need to maybe go on, or who needs to give a little bit more of what, because you're not going to be in a space where you're really going to be into sacrificing yourself. You have the Gemini North Node in your 12th house of Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune. This is a Neptune energy, and you're not going to, the Gemini North Node right now is bringing us gifts. So your subconscious, your mind, what's going on underneath your hood, underneath deep within your soul, there are things that are changing within you, particularly now, especially between now and the end of the year. So there are good things that are actually, moving around for you. So I do like that. And with Neptune in your 9th house, in Pisces, your belief system is shifting. You may not know exactly where it's going to land right now, but you feel it moving. You feel it. But you also you're not willing to be sacrificed, right, with that Neptune energy in the 9th, for your belief system, or for how you think something should go. So your morality and your personal philosophy are going to be very important to you. So you might be dealing with somebody who you need to work something out with, having to do with that, right? The way that you think something should go, and not in a way where you're being like selfish or malicious, just self-respecting, Okay, so that's what we have for the first spread. Let me go into a Celtic cross spread for you, my Cancer friends. So I always say you want to check your sun sign, your ego consciousness, your rising sign. Your rising sign is your approach to life, your daily attitude, how people understand you. Your rising sign also rules, your yourself, your appearance, your body, right? What you physically look like. So it's pretty important because it's kind of how you show up in life day to day. Very important. And your moon sign has to do with how you process emotions. And it also, when you look at your moon sign, you often get indicators of what's going on in your home life as well. And Venus will give you an indication as to what's going on having to do with your family and your, not your family, I'm sorry. My mind like spaced out for a second. Venus has to do with money and as well as love and self-esteem. So if you know your Venus sign and you listen to the messages, you apply it holistically like that, okay? So let's put these down. Hierophant energy. Okay. Okay, some of you are being very patient about the idea of getting married. So having to do with relationship, you might be just really tired about the whole idea of relationship. Cancer right now, it's like, oh, please, I'm tired. I don't know, right? But you still have desire to be in relationship, whether it's a particular relationship or relationship at all. This is a temporary feeling. And you might just be feeling really defensive right now. You know, and you might even be coming into this energy. You may have been in the space of a rather negative mindset, right? Not that you were, but I'm sure there was a good reason for it, right? But you don't want to stay there because right, what's after the Nine of Wands is the Ten of Wands, and you don't want to get into that space. So your efforts here does indicate that if you don't give up on something, it's going to end up going in your favor as long as you maintain a very careful approach to whatever situation you're in. So some of you may literally be married, have your mind set on marriage, or at least a really deep commitment. Whether you're in relationship or not, there's this focus right now for you on, again, committed partnership, recognizing the sacred in relationship, but also at the same time, very much identifying expectations and what's necessary to conform to be in a healthy relationship with you. You're looking at it within yourself, and you're looking at it regarding other people as well, right? But the current challenge to that situation is the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is about being able to, well, it's a Saturn and Taurus energy, right? So this is about putting hard work in, right? Patience, saying, yeah, you know, this is like, there's a lot of potential for success, right? And it's, you don't want to give up, but you're having a really hard time not. Again, that ends up being the tricky part here, right? Now you might be dealing with somebody that you're like, okay, look, this is what I expect, and this is what's necessary in order to have a good relationship. But your challenge could be that either you or somebody that you're dealing with are giving up on something, or they're just not putting the work in. They're just not putting the work in. There's almost an element of laziness when it shows up as a challenge, as a current challenge, right? Yeah. The basis of this situation, though, we have the Five of Wands. So there's definitely conflict going on here, right? Lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard. It's kind of like the basis of the situation. So there's an argument going on, but it has you really looking at yourself in a really healthy way, actually. Is this about working on, independent endeavors, working on yourself? Some of you might even be meeting a very healthy connection after doing a lot of solid work on yourself, because 9 is the number of productivity, right? It's integrating the body, mind, spirit. But whether you're in a relationship or not, this tells me that you're working on yourself. You're working on being the best version of yourself as possible, even in the face of some sort of conflict, even in the face of either not feeling very positive about the idea of relationship right now, or dealing with somebody who's just really not putting the work in. It's almost like this feeling of you saying, okay, I might not really like how things are right now, but I can't control them. I can't control other things. I can control me. So I'm going to try to be the best version of myself in this that I could possibly be, which means I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to look at myself with a lot of transparency, warts and all. And I'm going to shine light on everything. And that I at least know that I'm going to feel really good and really healthy about myself within relationship. And you're able to focus on happiness from there. And this is the suggested approach for you, Cancer. 9 of Cups is about happiness and wishes manifesting. And opening yourself up, feeling more connected to your own heart. This is a Jupiter and Pisces energy, which allows old tensions that may be built up in relationship, or even old tensions surrounding the idea of being in a relationship, can finally dissolve into the waters of the past, right? That is the Pisces energy. It's like, okay, pain, get in that boat and never return, right? It's just sort of like, go away. Now, we dealing with an external energy. We have the Temperance. So some of you may be dealing with a Sagittarius, or I'm even going to say a Taurus, all right, because in numerology, this is the Hierophant. So someone wants to work something out with you. Somebody wants to balance something out. So we'll see what comes up in their energy, but it does seem like somebody wants to cooperate. Someone wants to establish a new level of trust after what's been maybe a little bit of a tricky time period for you guys, for sure. Those of you who are single, there may be somebody in your energy that you feel very energetically drawn to, and they feel it too. And it's almost like this, almost like a spiritual draw to somebody. Right? But what is your challenge right now is the 10 of Cups. You're like, yeah, damn it, I want to be happy. 10 of Cups. This is about family and contentment and security and all of that delicious stuff, right? That goes with really deep, beautiful, meaningful relationships, right? And this is bringing it all together for healthy communication, romance, in a way that can build family, can establish family, and all of that stuff. And you're having a hard time making this happen for yourself. You're just having a hard time. And that, look, I mean, right now you have Scorpio in your 5th house, with Venus in that energy, and you're going to be feeling very, very passionate during this time period, very passionate. But there's also going to be this feeling of like low-key instability in the relationship. And then you have Pluto in Capricorn, which is all about endings and beginnings and change. And the 7th house has to do with it's contracts, but it's also marriage, right? Marriage contract. So for those of you in that space, or even if you have a soul contract, even if you guys aren't legally married, but you have to remember, as I say this quite often, wherever Pluto and wherever Scorpio are hanging out in anyone's chart at any one time, whether it's transiting or whether it's in their birth chart, you cannot expect stability. It's not meant to be, because there have to be micro, maybe not so micro, maybe even macro deaths in order for there to be these births or these rebirths and these transformations. So those of you who are sort of like not feeling completely grounded in your emotions or where you're at in relationship right now, I say you're completely on point right now, but it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So we have this Knight of Swords energy in your near future. Again, another expect the unexpected kind of thing. This came out in the first spread. So you might be dealing with somebody who's very determined, very driven, very forthright, very ready to fight for what they believe in, right, in relationship. But this energy can get bored really easily and move on. They create drama, no responsibility for reconciliation, leaving you sitting there like with a big question mark over your head, like, what the hell just happened, right? Which is like this expect the unexpected kind of thing, because it's unpredictable. This is an unpredictable energy. Things being exposed, sudden truths coming out, right? Conflicts being exposed. Depending on where you're at, some of you maybe find this to be actually very much of a relief, because it could be like, aha, I knew they felt like that. I knew that was going on. All right, let's sit down and talk about it. I knew it. Others of you are like, okay, what am I supposed to do with all of this information? But we have the Ace of Pentacles as a final outcome energy, which is truly such an auspicious card. And this is about happiness and contentment, guys, really. this is something coming to you quickly. Yeah, I mean, it's a pentacle. Obviously, it could be money. So if money's been an issue in your relationship, that, you know, maybe somebody's getting a new job or money coming to you in one way or another. But it's also connection, like a deepening of connection. So for a lot of you, I'm getting like whatever unexpected thing comes out here, there's going to be a lot of light shown on it. And then you guys are going to be able to sit down and have a conversation about what's necessary to now move forward. Because sometimes the Knight of Swords, not sometimes, a lot of times, the Knight of Swords, because swords are air, it's communication, it's truth, right? So a lot of times this comes out, it's like such heavy misunderstandings. You know, where somebody is reacting to something in an inappropriate way. It's almost like the reaction doesn't match the circumstance, and you know, and you just know that there's something more going on around it. But whatever it is, you're not gonna be able to ignore it. Don't make any big sweeping decisions, by the way, in this energy, because some of you may, because we have the ace here, so some of you may be saying, oh my God, the hell with him. I'm not doing this. Like, this woman's crazy. I can't do it. I'm going in another direction. I'm going to go meet somebody else. And you just sort of like recalibrating your energy to go in another direction. Some of you are going to be feeling like that. But let's clarify that for you. Let's see what's going on. I actually want to I want to clarify this little story here. I want to figure out what's going on between the Knight of Swords and then the Ace of Pentacles. What's happening in between those two things, please? Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Oh my God. Okay. Holy smokes. Okay. So definitely an emotional stalemate with this situation, right? It's not going away. This is like an inconjunct for those of you who know astrology, right? You have to make a decision. You want to protect yourself. I get it. Totally get it, right? Moon in Libra. You want to protect yourself. You want to be fair. Do I feel this? Do I feel that? Lots of people are going to be feeling that. Lots of people are going to be, and especially guys, the moon is going to be in Libra for you in your fourth house of home, roots, family, your emotions, on the 8th and 9th. And then the moon goes into Scorpio in your 5th house on the 10th and 11th. Then it goes into Sagittarius on the 12th and 13th in your 6th house. And then it ends the week in Capricorn in that house of marriage, right? On the 14th. So there's going to be a lot of emotions going on having to do with like that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th house, which has to do with like your emotions and your home and how secure do I feel in this 5th house love, day-to-day energy of romance, 6th house, my day-to-day mental health, physical health, wellness within this relationship, 7th house, right? So there's going to be a lot of that being thought about in this energy for sure. So we have, you know, we're clarifying now this Two of Swords. So we have the Page of Pentacles. So, you know, questioning how well everybody's going to be able to like put their big boy and big girl pants on to incite a new cycle, to do the hard work, to be reliable, to be responsible in the way that's necessary to progress the relationship forward, right? For some of you, you're going to be resonating with it like that. You know, and you know that, right? You know that. So you're confused. Like, do I even want to go through that energy, right? And the Four of Cups is like, I'm just not sure if it's even going to work. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of restless in this whole thing. I'm actually feeling pretty disillusioned about the whole thing right now. You know, am I ever going to be in a relationship where it's easy and where it's, you know, where I'm just happy? But you want to make sure with this energy, Cancer, that you're looking really honestly within yourself, having to do with whatever it is that you're feeling. And because this does indicate there is a need to heal some sort of past unhealed issue within you. It's not a big deal. Small changes can go a long way. Just about like calling it out. Like, this thing, it makes me feel bad. I feel insecure. Nothing wrong with saying that, you know, whatever it is. But you're definitely going to be thinking about, if not communicating, the Queen of Cups energy. This is Gemini and Cancer. So Gemini is about communication, and Cancer, you guys are all about feeling grounded, rooted, safe, secure. Communication could be literally about something going on in the home, about something like that. But this has to happen. It's coming up as a center card. Then we have that being clarified by the King of Wands. Somebody's looking for something to be perfect, expecting perfection, feeling like they need to be more perfect. Oh, if you're feeling like that, let that go, my friend, right? Don't allow perfectionism to get in your way in relationship in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's, you feeling like you need to be more perfect, or, you feeling like they expect you to be more perfect. No, right? But it looks like this conversation has to happen. And then that's being clarified by the beautiful Ace of Swords, which is about getting over past obstacles and getting what you want and thoughts becoming things, right? But there is this definite energy of disconnect here where you almost feel like the relationship or you within the relationship is challenged. So because it's a pentacle, and first of all, this is a very psychological card. So in your internal psychology, you could be feeling tested as far as money. This could be like you're just worried about money. You are. You feel like this test of your resources, fear of financial issues. Maybe you're afraid of losing the security of your home, okay? If it has to do with that. Or this could have to do with connection where you are dealing with the pain in either the aftermath of maybe somebody passed away that you care a great deal about, and you're just struggling within your own self to move past it, or there's been some sort of breakup, right, where you guys are not in a good space right now and you're dealing with that pain, right? Or you could just be feeling super disconnected from the situation. You have a lot more support here than you realize, but you have to deal with the fact that there are two things that you need to think about, right? Because the Two of Coins is all about negotiating, right? And needing to make a decision regarding more than one path. So it's like you could feel this sense of lack in money or connection, which is definitely this Five of Pentacles energy, right? I mean, that's these two. It's like, okay, I feel this sense of lack. What am I going to do? Which pentacle am I going to put down? And you having that very honest conversation with yourself and saying, you know what I want is not square with my reality. And I'm recognizing now I really can't control that because it's not on me. It's really not. Right? And clarifying that Five of Swords energy is this idea of the Six of Pentacles, where it's like, okay, is this person showing up in the family as they're supposed to? Are they showing up as far as finances the way they're supposed to? I mean, this has to do with property, family, generosity even. We're talking about Six of Pentacles. It could be, are they contributing financially to the situation in the way they should be? Or could have nothing to do with money, and it could be like, are they communicating? Are they there emotionally? What's the communication and the intimacy like? But I almost feel like this is going on sort of very low key, and it's very interesting because I feel like conversations are going on, things are being addressed, but it's almost like the main elephant in the room. You're going to have a hard time pulling that out and having that conversation because of the Mars and Libra energy that you're going to be experiencing, having to do with that fourth house, that Venus and Scorpio energy also, right? Wanting that depth and connection, but not wanting to step on anybody's toes. You're not going to want to be the bad guy, but you're really going to be wanting somebody to come in and just say the right thing and do the right thing. Right? And just don't be surprised if the deep communication goes on and there's a lot discussed, but if you still feel this sort of like, not like everything was totally dealt with this week, guys. It's only this week, right? Trust me, Mercury retrograde, there's going to be a lot of revisiting, reevaluating, reassessing what's going on in a relationship in a healthy way. We need Mercury retrograde. And not a big deal anyway. It's hitting at the end of the month. It's retrograde half the flipping time. We can't worry about it. Can't worry about it. Now let's use these for your partner. Ace of Wands. That's where they're at. Ace of Wands. New beginnings. New chapter of passion. What's their challenge? Oh, Cancer, what's going on? This person you're dealing with is being challenged by the devil. Huh. All right. Okay. You're showing up as the Hangman in their spread. Guys, remember this is a subjective read. So, I guess I should say trigger warning. I don't even know. But just understand this doesn't mean it's truth. It's just pulling from the partner to the Cancer archetype, their energy. So it's subjective. So this is from their point. So here we have the Magician energy. coming into this, which is straight up Mercury, right? Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So it's having conversations in an attempt to problem solve something. It's them trying to manifest something either for themselves or within the relationship. And they're very much in this space of like new, right? New chapter, again, of passion. This also has to do with like conception, right? Having this a virility energy. So this could even be having to do with family, right? A pregnancy, anything like that. But it could also be like a new relationship if you guys are not, together. But the challenge in the newness of whatever it is because this is being pulled for you. And I get this feeling like they want to work something out, but the challenge is the imbalance. It's in the relationship. Now, in numerology, the devil is the Lover's card, right? The Lover's is Gemini, and it's about needing to make a choice, understanding, recognizing that something needs to be addressed. Maybe several things need to be addressed, but you can't do it on your own. They can't do it on their own. And it's this shackling kind of energy. So the shackling could come in the form of somebody maybe is dealing with an addiction. There could be somebody who's a really controlling partner. There could be a lust over love situation where there's cheating, some sort of affair, codependent patterns. There could also be this energy where it's like they very much want this new beginning, but there's almost this shackling energy having to do with like financial dependence in some way. But it does seem like they want to get past it, right? We have the Eight of Wands as the basis of the situation, which is about, first of all, it's great news if you guys are in a space of being separated, but it's good news coming in, lots of busy communication if you've been feeling held back, if they've been feeling held back, right? Because this is like really wanting to just sort of grow and move forward. It's a very forward-thinking energy. But right now, there's this need to balance things out. And I mean, look, the strength energy is feeling tested in the relationship, but having everything that you guys need to fix things as long as balance is exercised. And how do you do that? Somebody needs their ego stroked. Somebody does. And you have to be having the right conversations. There's a lot of times when the strength energy comes up, it's like talking about everything but what really needs to be talked about. And a lot of it is because, because everything that I said about that Mars and Libra energy, right? Nobody wants to be the bad guy. They don't want to be the bad guy either. This is where it could get kind of tricky, But there is this need to balance and have the important conversations. Now, what is the recommendation for them? Suggested approach, Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about taking a break and detaching from the negativity. Whatever's negative going on. Taking a little bit of space to breathe. And again, you're showing up as the Hangman. So this is a Neptune energy. So you might be, in their mind, you're confused. In their mind, you're confused because you feel like if you continue in a situation, you feel like you're going to end up either being taken advantage of, end up with the lousy end of, with the lousy end of the stick. It's just like you're very giving, you're very loving. And that's that Neptune energy. Neptune is very dreamy, it's very loving, it's very giving, it rules Pisces, it's that beautiful dreamy energy. But at the same time, it's like almost getting into the space where, how much am I going to give? At what point do pull back? Because you may be feeling, because again, this is you, Cancer, you may be feeling that you do a whole lot more in this relationship than you're getting. And guys, that is the number one thing you have to look at in relationship. There have been so many studies on this when it comes to relationship psychology. And the first red flag is if you notice that, you're doing most of the work. You're initiating the conversation. You're initiating the intimacy. You're initiating the hard conversations having to do with where everything is going, right? And if you're dealing with somebody who's a little too passive, then they could sit back and say, "Oh, Cancer, you're just so sensitive. Why do you make things out of nothing?" And but you're in this space where it's like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this right now. Now, for them, their challenge is being happy in the relationship. Feeling really more connected to their heart. They're having a hard time. They want to be happy. They want to manifest happiness for themselves here, but they are having a hard time. And the reason is we have in the near future the Five of Swords. Now it's coming up for them as well, which is very interesting because when we do a he said, she said spread and the two people get Five of Swords energy, there's finger pointing. There's finger pointing. And, the truth maybe falls somewhere in the middle because they feel like they're not able to square what they want with the reality of the relationship, right? And they believe that the issue is you. You believe that the issue is them. Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. It usually is, right? In relationship, right? Because it's you, it's them, and it's the body of the relationship. And it's sort of like, I'm getting this feeling like you guys are not almost speaking the same love language. Languages of Love. Very good book for those of you who would be into reading about a very like low-key, not in-depth psychology of relationship. The Languages of Love. It's a good book. But then we have the final outcome of the Page of Pentacles. So let's pull some clarifiers on this, because this is the Page of Pentacles is about putting the hard work in, right? Putting the hard work in. And having that new cycle. Because Page is really about a new cycle. High Priestess, okay. Six of Pentacles. And I feel like there's going to be some cyclical stuff going on here. As I do feel like there's going to be some communication, but not everybody's going to be saying the full truth here. Full truth is not coming out. In the High Priestess energy, there is a lot being processed in the emotions. It's the Moon energy that's not being shared. Clarifying that, we have the Six of Pentacles. It could have something to do with money. It could have something to do with how connected, this person that you're with really feels, or how committed they are actually to the relationship and having your back, really, at the end of the day. We have that being clarified by the Chariot. The Chariot is about stepping away from any of the toxicity, recognizing right now what needs to change, right? Because in numerology, this is the Tower energy. So the Tower is about a necessary surrender. So you may be dealing with somebody that you are identifying as having changed. They were one way at one point, and now they're very much changing. Or maybe they're viewing you as the one who changed, right? You may have been the one that changed. You were the North Node of the Moon for 1.5 years, and now it's a year out past that. So a lot of the pieces may be falling into place in your energy this past year, Cancer, where you're not allowing people to get away with or do the things to you that you maybe once did, right? But there is this energy of temperance that's here. And temperance, again, is in numerology is the Hierophant, which has to do with the sacred relationship and finding, cooperation and reconciling issues so that patient cooperation can be had, right? So it's sitting down and really making that attempt, but you guys can't agree on things. You can't agree. And then finally, it's just like, all right, listen, lesson learned, lesson learned, lesson learned. I don't belong in this anymore. It felt right at one point. It's time to move on. Sadness but no regret. I can't do this anymore. Right? Because this person, in their mind, they want to be happy and they want to work on themselves. So this is them saying, that's it. I can't be in this anymore. But guess what? You're under their skin. Moon and Libra, they are in a very deep emotional stalemate right here. Deep emotional stalemate. They need to make a decision. They feel the need to protect themselves. So it's almost like a little bit of a low-key battleground going on here, for sure, And then with Mars going from that 3rd house into that 4th house, I mean, there is like this battling energy here going on. And then clarifying that, we have the 7 of Cups, confusion. Commitment issues, not sure what's real, what's not. Things feel up in the air, but they definitely feel there is this new cycle within your relationship happening. And then we have the Death card. Some of you may end up in a space of separation, at least for the time. At least for the time. Because there is this energy being experienced here within this connection of confusion and disappointment, feeling let down, and having a real lack of trust that the relationship is going to be able to work out in the long term. So there's got to be this stepping away. If the bones of the relationship are good, you guys will find each other again. But it does seem like there needs to be this sort of stepping away. Now I want to just give another quick interpretation of this. Sorry for that quiet moment there. I'm just thinking here. Coming back to the Six of Pentacles, there could be this, reasoning out in conversation where you guys are realizing that you have to move. But you may not agree with the idea of moving where you want to move, whatever it is. But if there's this conversation where, okay, we figured it out, lesson learned, 8 of Cups, it's time for us to move so that we can be happy, right? So that we can establish a healthier relationship, right, within the two of us. But I feel like they are not 100% on board with actually moving. They're very confused about it. But it does look like the move does happen, because there's this recognition that whatever the living situation is like right now, there's this element of disillusionment, right? It's not really serving anybody's needs. So this could have a lot to do with like literally moving, but there being confusion and a lack of agreement about that as well. So that's for some of you. And that's what I have for you for right now, my friends. That is pretty complete. I don't feel like I need to pull any more on that. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.